So this is the Walther CREED. It's a pretty new release by Walther. It's a little bit more on a budget side. It goes for around $500 or so in the Canadian market, and it's a pretty interesting design. So essentially the way that this action works, when the slide cycles, it pre-cocks the hammer to the back. And when you press the trigger to the rear, it brings the hammer backwards a little bit more, and once you break that shot off, the hammer drops. The slide will then cycle and pre-cock the hammer again, and then the same exact thing will happen. The interesting thing about this though is, even though it's a double action, once that hammer drops, you can pull that trigger all day long and nothing's going to happen. So even though it's a double action only, it operates more like a striker fire than, let's say, a 6RP250. Pretty interesting design. This gun will be the substitute to the Walther PPX that had the same exact action on it. So as far as the trigger goes, the take-up is quite long, there's a little bit of it, and it's a little mushy as well. The break is really nice, it's supposed to be around 5.5 pounds, and the reset could be better. It's a little bit long, but the break is actually pretty good. Don't expect to have the same trigger as a Walther PPQ. PPQs have a way better trigger than the CREED, but it's pretty decent for the price point. The sights on this are a 3-dot sight system. They're not night sights, they're not adjustable, they're just pretty standard sights, basic out of factory. The grip on the CREED has a pretty large palm swell. I'm personally not a fan of it. Doesn't fit my hand all that well, and the back straps are not interchangeable, so if it doesn't fit you, this gun might not be the one for you. Also, the slide on this is really high. It has a really high bore axis. Even if you have a really good grip on it, your strong hand grip could be perfect, that slide's still running pretty high. Just something to keep in mind. The controls on this are really nice. The slide catch is in a good place. It is a little large though. When I was shooting this, I caught myself preventing the slide from locking back because my left hand rides quite high when I shoot. So that's just something to keep in mind. The magazine release is really easy to reach. It has a really good feel to it. It's a really positive mag release. That magazine just jumps out of there. So that's a big plus. For the magazine well, I'm not a fan of the big cuts on the side. I can see those preventing you from getting that magazine in there. I guess those are there for you to strip that mag out in case of malfunction, but I'd much rather just have a beveled magazine well. Field stripping this gun is really simple. All you have to do is lock it to the rear, and then you flip the takedown lever down, release the slide, and that's it. And then you can remove your barrel and your recoil spring. To put it back together, just line up your slide with your frame rails. You're going to lock the slide back, flip the takedown lever up, and then just release the slide, and you're done. No need to pull the trigger or nothing like that. It does come with an accessory rail. This is actually a Picatinny rail, so it fits so many accessories, so that's also a plus. So in the end, if you're looking to buy your first gun, I would say this is definitely an option to consider. It's a really good gun for the price point. Definitely better than other guns at around the same price range. Just keep in mind that what you're getting is not a PPQ. You're pretty much getting what you pay for, so the trigger is definitely not as nice. The gun doesn't feel as nice overall, but that doesn't mean it's not a good gun. This gun is available for you to try it out here at DVC. So if you are thinking of buying it and you're in the area, why don't you just stop by, try it out before you do that purchase. And speaking of that, I'm gonna go grab some ammo, let's shoot it a bit, and let's see what it feels like.